Are we live? Oh, cool.
Let me check.
Yeah, this is very difficult.
You see the timer?
Laptop. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, everybody? We are live
Hey.
after a good long break.
What felt like a month, I think.
It pretty much may have been a month.
That's my fault, guys. So sorry.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
There.
I got it. Bam.
Hell.
So
we are back.
we are back, and we both this time have seen the movie we're going to talk about. Because
Finally.
that seems to happen a lot. I didn't get to watch Godzilla.
No.
We ended up going to watch Midsommar last week. Last week. Mind you, this is when the earthquake stuff was going on.
What was it? 7.1.
7 point. I thought it was like 6.6. Either way, it was above 5. Was it? Dang.
Yeah.
But we were in the theater, and it was like maybe midway through the movie when the earthquake hits, and I was down here during the first earthquake, and that one I felt it a little. I was like, oh, where there's an earthquake, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm not really scared. Like, if I felt things like shaking and things falling over, I'd been like, oh yeah, I need to leave. But when we were in the theater, I felt it, and I was like, oh, it's an earthquake, and then like it didn't go away. So I was like, oh, it's an earthquake. But at the time we were watching the movie, and I was like, I want to watch the movie. I'm not going to leave. And like half the theater stood up and like ran out the doors. And I was like, I'm not going to get trampled, so I'm just going to stay here. But that did not take away anything from the movie experience. That movie was an experience. That movie was a trip.
I was in my room and my head was against the wall. I had a couple beers, and I thought I was just getting hit very hard with the spins. And so I was like, what was in that beer? I thought it was just a regular IPA. But yeah, I actually saw Midsommar that Thursday night or whatever night before Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know. My days are all mixed up. It came out
You saw it the day it came out, though, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It came out on the 3rd or the.
I don't know. It's pretty early. I saw it. We
I
saw
know.
it on,
Was it Spider-Man
right?
came out the day before?
We saw our Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, Spider-Man came out like the day before.
Oh, okay.
So I figured everyone was gonna go in there and not watch.
Nobody.
Midsommar.
There was like 3 showings for Midsommar when we went to go watch
That
it.
first night,
And they had the times wrong.
yeah. No, you know what? That was I've heard that was a big thing. Actually, was it wasn't just. I thought it was just like us walking in, late.
Oh,
and
okay.
in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, a couple of them had mentioned that they had that same issue where I guess the length of it was off, and so it ran like 10 minutes too long.
Oh.
So when we walked in,
Yeah.
it was already like the climax of the movie.
What?
Like it was like the end, like the ending was just happening, and I assumed at first we were just walking in, and we were late, like some rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
No, we walked in, and I was like, I
shoot.
turned around, I grabbed Ashley, I was like, nope, we need to leave. I go back to the lobby.
Did you remember what you saw?
No, I just saw like headdresses, and all I assumed was like,
Okay.
or not hairdresses, but crowns.
Yeah.
I just saw people in white, and I was like, okay, well, a bunch of white people in white. I'm sure that's the whole movie, anyways. So I must have not.
Nothing
missed
can go
anything.
wrong
Yeah. But aside from that, I whatever I saw didn't affect like what I was like watching.
Yeah. Because if I remembered what I saw, I'd be like waiting throughout the entire movie and be like, when is this part gonna happen?
Yeah. No, I didn't see anything like. I was about to say something, but I'm not sure if we're gonna really get much into spoilers now.
We'll get into spoilers in a bit. But this was definitely a movie to watch. And then I've been seeing a few things here and there on YouTube about it. Nothing quite as in depth as I'd want it to be. Mm-hmm. But it's there. I kind of get the same vibe from this one as I did Hereditary. because there's so much to pay attention to.
You know what I got out of this? Or what I took from it? Or what it felt more like instead of Hereditary to me? It felt like The Witch.
Yeah, that too. And I want to go back and watch it again, The Witch.
Speaking of The Witch, I just saw something right now on Facebook. See if I can bring it up.
You talk about Magic the Gathering. Baron, we talked about that for like an entire episode. Last episode.
Like 3 times.
Yeah.
Y'all need to like jump back in or something.
We'll talk about Magic when probably that show comes out or if something else happens.
Yeah.
I could talk about that for days, but we both... Baron, did you watch Midsommar? If not, go watch Midsommar.
Yeah. It's like a Magic the Gathering card.
Oh, goodness.
Like green forest.
It's a tag on this one. Oh, shoot! I forgot to change the tags. Oh. Baron says that it's a tag on this one. I'll have to change the tags after the stream.
Well, we'll talk some Magic the Gathering.
So yeah, Magic. There's 5 colors.
This is probably plains, maybe forests. No, but I wanted to jump back to what we were talking about with the witch.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they maybe announced about an hour ago, but A24, the studio that produced Midsommar, The Witch,
done a lot of good stuff.
They're doing free screenings on billboards in cities where the movies are set. So,
what? That's cool.
So I guess there's gonna be a billboard in Miami that's showing Moonlight, or
they did Moonlight.
Yeah. Oh. Or like The Witch is probably gonna be like somewhere in New Hampshire or something like that.
That's weird. That's cool though.
But I'd love to watch a movie on a billboard like that.
Yeah.
Especially A24. I'm probably gonna.
Yeah. What was the trailer? No.
Oh, there was another one. It was like some I think it was with what's her name? Aquafina.
Aquafina?
That
her grandma's died.
Yeah, that.
I want to see that one.
Oh, is that the trailer we'd seen?
Yeah, it was. They played it before.
The Asian one.
Yeah.
Okay. That one looked like I'd want to watch it. I don't know if I'd want to watch it in theaters.
Yeah, it looks like something I'd probably just watch at home. But I don't know. I've probably like loved just about every single A24 release that they've done.
That's true.
Maybe aside from Lady Bird.
I like Lady Bird.
I like it. It's just too white privilege for me.
It was definitely something I'd seen before, and it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was like totally original. I just did enjoy the movie.
It's real feel good. That's I give it that.
I think I just really like the actress. She did a good job.
I like the friend.
Didn't it take place in California too?
That one?
Wasn't it like
or was she
Sacramento? Yeah, it was like Northern California.
Oh yeah, because she wanted to go.
Yeah, so everything kind of felt familiar to me. Maybe that's why.
Wait, was it in, or did she want to go to Sacramento?
No, she went to New York.
Oh, okay, you're right. Yeah, I was.
But what's it called? What else are we going to talk about? Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
I've seen the first episode today.
You didn't watch the second one. The rest of the season?
No, like
okay.
My brothers watched it like 4th of July hit, and they were all like, "We need to watch this." They probably finished it. I was doing other stuff though. I don't know, because for me the second season wasn't as good to me. Okay, so I was like, I'm not as excited for the third season. I'll watch it, but I'm like not in a hurry.
I have the same that was my same mentality going into this season.
Yeah.
Was I loved the first one. The second one was good, but I don't think it was like on par with the first season. Yeah. And so when this trailer, I don't even think I watched that trailer, but it was whatever to me. And once I started watching it, I just couldn't take my eyes off of it. And
we'll get to that when we talk about the movie. But I had a very comparative attitude, I guess, going in after coming off of something like Midsommar, watching Stranger Things. It's like it was weird.
They're just two different.
Yeah, it's way too different.
Yeah.
Did you finish the series though?
Yeah, I finished it. Cool. I don't know if I still like it as much as the first one, but it definitely invokes some some feelings inside of me. So yeah, without it's kind of hard to like really get into it without with the spoilers. One big thing a lot of people bring up is the cinematography for this season.
That I did like. That's one thing I noticed in the first episode.
If you have a 4K TV or if you have access to 4K, watch that season because it's just gorgeous. Like
one thing I really noticed, was the transitions. Like people will be doing something and in the background you'll see one of the other characters, and then we transition from this stuff to what's going on in the background.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a constant thing. Like it was cool. Like it wasn't narratively different, but it was just like as a visual it's pretty interesting. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, they I don't know if I just didn't pay that much attention to that then, or
I think I was editing like all day, so I was paying attention to that stuff.
Yeah, big character changes with a lot of people. Some characters getting like teamed up with like unlikely partnerships and whatnot.
Yeah,
and then some of them just it's like you can obviously put them with someone else or something like that. That's what I really wanted. Was it felt like a lot of it was just too much of the same, like the same group of like the same couple of people hanging like with each other throughout that little like time span.
Yeah. And that's what I was kind of afraid of too. Like I didn't want the third season, and I still have yet to watch the entire thing, but I don't want it to be just like another remake of the first one.
Yeah, no,
just with different stuff. Because I mean, the second one they introduced a few new characters, but it wasn't enough to where it felt all that different.
Yeah, no, this one does that where I think they really only introduced like maybe a couple characters that are like kind of key to like the main characters.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's them just kind of doing their things and whatnot. Yeah. Their Stranger Things.
Their Stranger Things.
The things that are strange.
Yeah. Aside from Stranger Things 3 and Midsommar, have you seen anything new that's been good or interesting, or is there anything you're excited for now? Because before I want to get to Midsommar, I want to like get rid of everything else in the way.
I saw Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It really, I feel like it didn't really do much like for Spider-Man. And when I say that is, it's a lot of like did you watch Endgame or did you know what happened?
I know. I know
okay, well, I mean,
basically.
everyone pretty much essentially knows like Tony Stark is dead.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of this movie is just everyone kind of like mourning him, and essentially, I wanted it to be like it's I get it. It's Spider-Man. He's not in New York. This movie, he's just overseas.
Yeah,
he's basically hanging out with Alex right now. But I saw they were like some of the same places from the movie. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Next, we're gonna see him in the freaking Swedish village.
Like,
oh, dude, no,
no. Turn around.
I hope he hears that.
Elizabeth is gonna have a crown on. Or something. He's gonna be wearing like a big burly coat.
Oh goodness, terrible.
But yeah, it's for a movie that's supposed to be about Spider-Man. There's just too much Tony Stark in it still.
Yeah. Okay.
It's literally.
Is it even a Spider-Man movie or is it just a Marvel movie?
It's a Marvel movie, dude.
So it's Endgame Part 2.
It doesn't. It's like the epilogue of Endgame. Yeah. And it's him like. I have Tony's tech. I have Tony's villains. I have Tony's problems, and it's like.
I am Tony Stark.
Like, yeah, like it's kind of setting up that they want him to be kind of like not the next Iron Man, but like there, there's those like it's a corny ass line that you can see in like any movie, like don't be the next so and so, be the first you or something like that. And that's what the whole movie just kind of builds up to, and it's like, that's played out already, dude. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But as Spider-Man, obviously he's a good actor. He plays it well. I've seen that already, but I like what it sets up. That's ultimately like worth the price of admission.
Is that a spoiler, or is that something you could say?
Well, I'll just say the spoiler just right now. Just cover your ears for like 30 seconds. Spoiler starts now. Mysterio basically outs Spider-Man in public as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And it just ends with Spider-Man like, what the F? And that's the end of the movie. Which is kind of like, you can come back from spoilers, I guess. But but I guess it kind of sets up like the Civil War thing, where the superhero identity kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's like, does that just mean Civil War 2?
I guess. I don't know. But what I like that it sets up is, and I've heard a lot of people talking about this, and this was like the first thing that popped into my head, was this is the perfect, like, the Spider-Man 3 or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
This is the perfect way to put Kraven the Hunter into the Spider-Man franchise. Because now that we know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, why not have this dude just hunting him down now?
Yeah.
If everyone's going to try and find Spider-Man or try and find Peter Parker,
Yeah.
why not get like the ultimate like hunter to go and get him, But
Who should play Kraven?
Benicio del Toro. No, he's already a character. He's a collector. Yeah. Damn, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Just get what's the name? Dude. Something just popped in my head regarding casting that I want to go back to, sure. But I don't know. As for Kraven,
sure. What were you gonna say then?
I'm just thinking about Benicio del Toro now. Have you ever watched the movie The Hunted? Where they're like, it's him and Tommy Lee Jones, and
that's an old one.
That's how I imagine Kraven, like that
that's
dude with
funny.
the knife or like a big old spear or something like that.
I remember watching those trailers. I was like, this is gonna be dope.
But anyways, Spider-Man's cool. Go watch it.
Okay, cool.
Mortal Kombat news.
That's one thing I saw.
Okay.
Who was it? The dude from the raid, right?
He's the dude from the raid and The Night Comes For Us. I don't recall his actual name, but Homeboy is going to be playing Sub-Zero in the 2020 live-action Mortal Kombat movie.
Ah.
Let me see the night.
Who's doing that one?
I know James Wan is producing. Joe Talsim is the actor's name.
James Wan is
the guy who did Aquaman and Saw franchise.
There you go. Okay. Maybe I was thinking different guy.
So this guy is just not known for anything at all.
Yeah.
The guy making actually directing the Mortal Kombat movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, new blood.
Ryan Reynolds was rumored for Johnny Cage.
He'd be hot though.
Yeah, but he's gonna die.
And he'd be funny.
Those were $500 sunglasses, asshole.
No, yeah, he'd do a good job.
10 out of 10, we'll watch it again.
Yeah.
So
are you excited for that?
Yeah.
Or just excited for that news?
I'm excited for that news. Like, I think that's what gets me like interested in the movie. I was just kind of like, oh, cool, Mortal Kombat. You could literally put any dude with a mask on and call him Sub-Zero, but they get that guy, and I'm like, all right, I want to see that dude just like tear fools up. So
yeah,
I just imagine, you know how like there's the scenes where he's like got like multiple knives and he's just like cutting up dudes like tendons or something in one of those movies.
Yeah.
I just imagine that, but with like an icicle now.
Oh goodness!
Like, remember the scene with the box cutter? Like,
dude, there's a lot of movies that I saw at your house. Like, you introduced me to the movie. We ended up watching it and probably like drinking a whole bunch of beers at the time. But there's like quite a bit of them that I've seen at your house.
a lot of them.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, this is one movie that I'm gonna buy. I might get a copy of Midsommar.
Oh, really?
It's that good. Like, I really want this movie. But funny thing too is I was watching a few interviews with Aster, or like people talking about stuff he's done or stuff he's gonna do, and he's basically said like this is probably his last horror for now, and like he wants to do other stuff. And one of the things he said is he wants to do a musical.
Okay,
I was like, okay.
Like, at this rate though, like he said Hereditary was a family drama, and look what that turned out to be.
It is, but I think in his mind, it's like, oh, that's a family drama.
Well, I mean, like when he said this, like when he said Midsommar was his horror movie, it makes a lot of sense, especially if you've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's almost the same movie. Literally almost the same movie.
Yeah.
Bunch of teens on a road trip.
Yeah.
There's a harbinger that like leads them there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a lot like
blood sacrifice.
Yeah.
Someone gets bludgeoned with a hammer.
Yeah.
By some sort of mutant weirdo thing.
I mean, this has a lot of the hallmarks of a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
It's just done differently, and it doesn't look anything like any other horror movie you can think of.
I think that's why I liked it too. Like, I see a lot of people online, and I have friends that have even said that it wasn't scary and it was overhyped, and it's like,
when we watched it, there was some girls laughing in the back of the theater during the sex scene, and then like pretty much that point afterwards. And I heard something in one of the videos that I thought was appropriate. Like, at a certain point, it's either you buy into it or it's just like completely weird and you're like, nah.
I mean, I bought into it, but it was still freaking weird.
No, yeah,
like,
it is.
Like, okay, so the sex scene, I'm not gonna lie, I made a couple jokes like about it, like, you know, sitting there, but at the same time, like, it's freaking twisted, dude, and it's
weird.
She puts her hands like the old hands on his cheeks, dude. I was more like, power. Dude, more power, more thrust. That's how I'm trying to finish from now on.
Oh, have everybody singing in the background.
I need a bro hymn going on.
A bro hymn. Oh goodness, but what did I want to say about this? Okay, for those people who have seen it, my favorite anime, and pretty much the only anime I watch at all now, is Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's an old anime from the 90s.
The one that just popped up on Netflix.
The one that popped up on Netflix, and I can't watch the damn thing because they have an entirely new dub, and it's whack. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'll just watch it in Japanese.
Do they have is the original like Japanese on there?
I don't even know if it's the original Japanese. Because I know a lot of the subtitles have been changed, a lot of the music's changed because I think a lot of the stuff has to do with the rights what Netflix was able to get, I guess, or what they wanted to pay for.
Fly Me to the Moon. I know.
The Fly Me to the Moon's not there, and it's like, what the heck?
See, like someone said, it's not a complete version of the show.
It's not the same.
And I've never watched it, and I was so excited to finally like invest into it.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like out. Like I don't really.
Yeah. See, this is another one I need to buy a physical copy of because the original English dub for this show is good. Mm-hmm. And during the production of the show, the tail end of that show, the production company was running out of money. So they completely botched the last 2 episodes and just like, here you go. This is what we got. And for what it is somewhat of a complete and for some people satisfying ending.
I mean,
and it kind of is.
Some ending is better than no ending.
That's true. But a lot of people really didn't like this ending. So what happened was years later, the director, and I'm not sure if it was the same production company.
Is it these movies or?
It was one. No, okay. One of the movies is complete crap. Doesn't matter. The one that does matter is called End of Evangelion. Because End of Evangelion was a remake of those last episodes.
Oh,
but this is what is supposed to be the real ending. And I say the real ending because there's also been a remake and remastering of the entire series that completely changes the ending again. So I'm not even counting that. That doesn't exist.
Are those like the Blu-rays that I would like see at like Best Buy
this
or
is
something?
Like the 1.1 you cannot advance, you cannot replace, you cannot undo. No, something like I don't remember.
All their names,
the numbers and
they're
stuff.
just like point something.
Those don't matter because I'm talking about the original series. Now that original ending, or not the original ending, the End of Evangelion, the movie that was supposed to replace those last 2 episodes, was like watching Midsommar because going in. If you have no context and you have no reference to pull from in terms of like symbolism and what exactly you're looking at and what exactly is going on, it's all gonna look like crazy stuff. None of it makes sense. There seems to be no point to it. You're just watching weird stuff happening on screen. And for anybody who has seen an End of Evangelion, it is a trip. Like a bad trip, but it's really good. Same thing with Hereditary or Midsommar. Being from the U.S., there's a lot of both cultural and like historic context that we don't get that makes everything a lot weirder because we have no idea what we're watching. But I'm sure other people who do have that background would know, but I don't think
you want to know some crazy shit, dude? Excuse my language, but like when I got my thorn tattoo, like the one from Halloween.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you noticed, but that symbol showed up multiple times.
Oh.
In the movie.
Because it's a rune.
Well, it's like where you see it show up. I'll take one.
Okay.
The blade. You remember or that little like, or I think it was like a little like almost like a pocket knife or something that the girl like stuffs underneath the.
Oh, that was a rune. It was a rock.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was I don't know why I thought it was like a pocket knife or something.
Well, she was carving it with like a pocket knife.
Oh, okay, thing. Yeah. So
chisel.
That the symbol has meaning or multiple meanings. New awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for I forget the character's name, but it was for the girl. And the hammer.
Because he was hammering her in the room.
Well, that too. No, well, the hammer shows up.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Like a physical hammer is being.
I was like
used.
King DDD.
Dude, oh my god!
I wanted to do that one too, but I didn't.
But yeah, so I noticed it a couple times, and I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I know something is up. I know what that symbol means, and sure enough, the hammer showed up. It was used.
Yep.
And I don't know if we're into spoilers yet, but a certain character has a new awakening as basically not another being, but someone.
Yeah, and it was funny too because the runes. I mean, you already know this about me. Mm-hmm. When I watch movies, there's a lot that I like to pay attention to. The runes wasn't one thing I paid attention to until about halfway through the movie.
Someone told us congratulations.
Congratulate Matthew of Gilead. I don't know who you are, Matthew, but thanks.
Thank you.
Because it's the 10th episode, I guess? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But thanks. No. So there's certain runes, and every single person has their own rune.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And then there's certain runes in the rooms, and I don't know, they're just certain places, and certain ones repeat. Certain ones don't. So I was like, okay, I need to go back and watch this again. And there's something else I'm gonna tell you about probably after. I don't think I'm gonna touch on it today, but I'm like, I need to completely watch this movie again because I think there's something I missed. But the runes. Oh, so we have a D&D game going, and one of the characters has runes on their axe, and pretty much every single one of those runes was like something in the movie, and I was like, okay,
all right,
there we go. But that was just something I did for fun. But I already knew going in about some of the rooms because of, again, D&D. Like, just certain things kind of just crop up because of nerd culture. And my interest in those cultures and symbolism in general. I have a book, maybe 2 books, just completely on symbolism. And those are definitely one thing that repeats throughout either history, cultures, anybody. Like, there's certain runes and there's certain symbols that crop up a lot.
Yeah.
And those are some that we see.
Like the Bluetooth symbol.
Like the Bluetooth symbol or the little hourglass looking one. But the one that stuck out to me the most was the one where they went to go eat the first time. And the tables were like that weird.
It was like a diamond with it kind of
legs. Yeah. So that one's one I've seen a lot, and that was like the Odin sign kind of thing.
Was it like almost like the Omega sign or something like that?
Almost, but not really, because I was working on a vampire comic, and there was a Nazi vampire, and he had tattoos, and that was one of his tattoos because that's basically like a sign for Odin, and that was like a thing that they used back then. More white supremacists here in the U.S. than actual Nazis, but some of them did too.
No, I think that's where I've seen it in like the neo-Nazis, like in like on their
they're big
their
on
tattoos. Yeah, I think that's where I had seen like that symbol before.
But that's like more Viking stuff.
Yeah.
But it ties in. So okay, how do we want to start this then?
I don't even know, dude.
I don't even know either.
I guess the painting on like the opening painting.
Well, here, let me do this. I'll give a brief overview of like what happens in the movie, and then we can get into it.
Yeah. If you want to do it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me do one thing, and then I'll come back. You can talk to him for a minute.
So if you haven't seen it, it's basically about a couple going overseas, kind of like a trip, I guess, however you want to call it. School trip, almost. Was it a school trip?
No, it was.
Because don't they need to do like their what is it? The thesis. The thesis, yeah.
So those guys did want to do a thesis. So it wasn't a school trip. It was more like a buddy trip that they were gonna turn into.
Oh, okay.
Their thesis. Yeah. I'm just trying to find the massive spoiler.
Matt mentioned you guys were talking about the last episode of Evangelion. Also, hello from AK Nibas. I don't know if that's
what?
whatever that is, dude.
Oh, that's Matt.
Like
that's Matt.
Like our actual friend Matt?
That's you, Matt, isn't it? Matt Greider? Because he said hello from AK.
Oh, nice.
That's you, isn't it, Matt? I'm surprised he's getting internet out there.
He has internet?
Yeah. He said it's like very sparse because it's expensive. You guys are talking about the... Yeah. So I only talked about the last episodes to give context, like that this movie is freaking trip. Like, you are not going to know what's going on. And for most of that movie, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, I need to watch more.
Everyone, or I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of people have been complaining about the length of this movie.
That didn't bother me watching it.
I wanted more, dude.
I did too.
I was sitting there like, I need like not more context, but I just needed more like madness. Like,
yeah. I enjoy the pace of the movie.
Yeah, that didn't bug me.
Because it's okay, it starts a little slow and then it just whoom, and then comes back down again.
See, I don't even feel like it. Like, there's a point, and I want to say maybe maybe before she finds the guy like with his like lungs.
Oh no!
Hanging out his back.
Yeah, no.
That felt like, I think maybe at that point it felt like the movie maybe could have like been shorter. But even me saying that, I didn't want it to be any shorter. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it would just take away from the rest of the movie. Like,
yeah, I think the last 20 minutes maybe could be tightened up a little bit. I think it did linger a little more than it should have on certain things, but that's only 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. I can live with those 20 minutes being what they are. It did do that thing where it kind of stayed on something for a very long time. And I think what people are used to are the cuts. Just we're cutting.
I don't
from
even
one
think
person
there was
to
like
another.
a single really like jump scare in that movie. Like,
No.
Maybe when she's in the outhouse.
That wasn't even a jump scare though.
It wasn't like you
almost don't even notice it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you spot it, and I was just like, oh shit! Like, but aside from that,
what was on the wall though? Because there was somebody in there, and then there was something on the wall.
Oh, I didn't.
What was on the wall?
I didn't.
This is why I want to go back and watch the movie.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Matt. Yeah. What up, Matt?
We love you and we miss you.
But yeah. So, again, for the brief overview.
I don't remember that. I know there was something there. I just saw the lady for like that split second. I think her name was Danny?
Danny, the main one, yeah. Did
you notice the painting she had in her room?
Yeah, there was 2 paintings.
The one with the girl and the bear, and I don't recall the second one.
The other one wasn't. I don't think it was really relevant. It could be, but I don't really know because it was a painting of dinosaurs. I'm not sure why. Because one of the videos I was watching, they actually found the actual artwork, and they know who it was by.
Oh, really?
So it was like, I don't remember how they tied it in, but that one felt less important. But there was one that I thought was more important, where it looked like an eclipse. It was when she was on the couch, she was on the phone, off to the left of the screen. There's a painting where it's like a sun, a moon, and then there's a bunch of rings around it.
Oh, okay.
That one I was like, are we going to see this again? Is this like something I should pay attention to?
There was...
The entire apartment or whatever she lived in was crawling with plants. Like everything looked very...
That was something that they brought up in that big mural in the opening. the first section was all the like vines and plants.
Yeah.
And or no, first was the
parents.
The parents. It was like the tubes connecting to the sister.
I already knew it. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be bad.
First it was the tubes, and then it was the vines.
Yeah.
And then it was, I think,
I know the dancing was in there somewhere.
it was basically the trip,
The trip.
like them getting there. Like
Yeah.
you see like Will Poulter's character. He's got like the clown.
Oh,
like,
that I didn't spot.
He had that like little clown thing on.
Yeah.
There was like the bear under like at the very bottom. Let me see if I could bring it up real quick.
Man, see, I need to watch this.
I'm gonna like show it to you. You're gonna be like, dude, what the
Like,
heck?
oh no. That part felt very.
Okay, so I need you to like look at this because you're just gonna be like, what?
That part felt very Wes Anderson to me.
Okay, that's exactly what I thought of when I
Oh
watched that.
no, just seen it again. Oh no. Oh,
It's so crazy when you like see it.
Goodness, this is terrible.
Which one?
This
the,
one.
the like opening.
Oh.
Ay ay ay.
That sun just grinning too. Like
Yeah.
you never get a shot of it in the movie.
This is a lot. And that's something I like about it though. It's like everything means something for the movie and the story and everything. It's just it's a lot to take in.
The old couple jumping, like God.
Hey, wait, where's that? I didn't see that.
Right at the top, like.
Oh yeah. Okay. Somehow I didn't see that.
Or you have to like share this on the Instagram or something for you guys to see, because if you've seen the movie or if you want a big summary of the movie without, any context, then here it is.
I already knew I was gonna do that. It was basically gonna show the entire movie, but because you don't know what to expect, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna notice anything.
I forgot what other movie just recently did that too.
Well, Hereditary kind of did the same thing. Like that movie showed you everything it was gonna do.
Oh yeah,
the entire time. Yeah. It told you, and you're still surprised that it happens. But no, this one kind of did it in a way all its own, and it did use the pictures and the background a lot. I was looking at the background the entire time.
Like when they're, I think that was a thing too that like I kind of like didn't pay attention to the dialogue because I was like scoping out like their rooms or their big room, and they all have kind of like something above their bed, or like when
Just
they're just
murals
talking and there's just
everywhere.
weird murals of like just someone like slitting their wrist open, and it's like what the.
It's like people
is that?
dancing. There's a
Yeah.
lot of naked people.
Yeah.
And the runes, again, you can see them real big. I did find it weird that they had pictures of the May Queens.
Oh yeah.
That part I thought was a little weird.
Like how?
Because then I was thinking, like, who takes the picture?
And isn't it like every 90 years or something?
Yeah.
So how are there that many pictures?
Yeah, I know. I was like, huh?
Or some like drawings? I didn't
catch.
I didn't
catch that either. Like, I thought they were all picture. Well, I don't know. Again, I have to watch it again. But yeah, that was another weird one. It was like, there's a lot.
Well, that guy took the pictures.
Yeah, I know that, but it was
Yeah.
like seeing everything there. It didn't look like they had much technology, so I was a little confused.
And they had a truck. They knew how to drive
They did
the
have
truck.
a truck, yeah. Forgot about that.
I can't get that.
They had a laptop when they were on those hills in the fields before they went into the actual town. Some guy in like their original clothes, like one of the guys from the town, was on a laptop at one of those benches where people were doing shrooms.
Huh. I don't think I
And
got
then when they
that.
actually got to the town, they didn't have signal.
Oh. Because I know the black guy had a laptop too, and he had his phone. They all had their phones.
Yeah.
But none of them had signal. But what were you going to say?
I just want like a GIF or like a screenshot or screen cap of like that one guy just staring at Will Poulter's character.
Oh, the
one, you remember when he pissed on the tree, and he's like, does this guy want to kill me or something? And like the camera cuts to him, and he's just
angry. There's been a few movies to do something like that, and it's like that's a very comedic thing.
But it works because like he says it as a joke, but we're like all of us in the theater like, yes, he wants to kill you.
It's funny, but it's like, yeah, he wants to. Yeah, after that part, I was like, oh yeah. Well, even from the beginning, I was like,
is he the one wearing his face later in that room?
I'm actually not sure.
Because I thought like for a second I thought it was the deformed guy.
I thought that for a second too.
I thought that too, but then I think he's the one with the hammer, or vice versa.
Oh yeah, dude, that entire oh my gosh.
And that was a scene I really just needed to rewatch.
Like every little bit of it's just disturbing. Because like he turns around, and it's in the dark. So dude goes in, he's taking pictures of things he's not supposed to. Turns around because he sees somebody in a mirror. And he's like, oh, hey, we're not supposed to be here.
He sees his friend.
And he sees his friend, but it's not. Like, you see just a dark silhouette. And I was like,
and then
that's not his friend. And then I noticed,
no pants, like,
dude's got no pants. I was like, whoa, what's going on? That was just weird. And it wasn't, like, scary because it wasn't like, oh, boo, like, I'm behind you.
It's like, you know that there's, like, some dread there. And then it's not even that, like, that's not the dread. It's like, what happens in that moment is, like, what's scary.
Yeah. And then just the noise he makes while he's on the floor. It's just, ugh.
That dude captures violence, like, unlike anyone else right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, aside from like an S. Craig Zoller film,
that
violence,
one just like, yes, violence.
That's just like I don't even say it's gratuitous, but like when you watch this, it's just
both directors do it like very sudden. Like it's a sudden violence all up in your face, and then it's gone.
The rock.
Oh my gosh!
And she just like it's like that like
just flops.
Like she bounces like this like.
You can already tell what's gonna happen in the trailer, but I was like, oh.
Oh, see, I didn't watch any trailers.
I caught that part.
Oh no,
I caught very few bits of the trailer.
I think that's why, like, when everyone's like, "Oh, there's this hype around the movie," it's like, I don't know. The way I watched Hereditary was I didn't watch a single trailer. And
that one I saw part of a trailer. But
I didn't watch a single trailer, and all for the better.
Yeah.
And then what did I go see? Oh, that's something else I just watched. I don't know if I don't think I mentioned it, but I watched the new Child's Play.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about it.
Okay, so when I sat down, I saw it at the Edwards, and I was just filling a drink, so I got an old fashioned.
Oh.
And I had like my popcorn and soda, and there was like a trailer playing already. And as soon as I sat down, like I put my drink down, I saw the A24 logo with the flowers. I freaking dropped my popcorn and I ran back out to the lobby. I was like, not today.
Hold this.
I seriously dropped it. There was like, I was lucky there was like no one right there.
Yeah. I
probably looked like an idiot. I just dropped my popcorn into the seat and just ran right out the door.
That's funny. I wouldn't be that extreme, but like if I'm watching, if I'm on the internet and a thing pops up, like I'll mute it or I'll like open a new tab so I don't have to see it.
It upset me because I had gone this long without seeing any trailer for it. And I was like, I'll be damned if it's going to happen like 2-3 days before I decide to actually go see that movie. So I dropped everything and I just took off.
Oh, man.
But let's see. Where were we?
We haven't even really like talked about it. It's just different things about it. So how would you describe what happens in the movie?
It's...
Like, what is it about?
What is it about? It's about a lot of things. That's
It
the
is about a
thing.
lot of
Like
things, but like the main stuff.
toxic relationships. How to like cope with tragedy in your life. How to like
both
how to
Hereditary-
move on from tragedy in your life.
Yeah.
Like that's something that I think that's the biggest thing in that movie is because they show her having like I don't even really want to call that if that even is an anxiety attack where she's freaking out because she just can't deal with that situation.
Yeah.
And she goes on her walks.
There was something that was pointed out in a comment of a video that I read that was pretty interesting because I didn't catch it. Every time she freaks out, it's right after someone either says, I think it says, or mentions family.
Yeah. She doesn't have
Every
hers, like
time.
she can't.
I didn't catch that for some reason. But I thought that was interesting. But no. So the movie is basically about this girl, Danny, who doesn't have dragons.
Yeah, she's better than the dragon.
So she is kind of struggling in her relationship with the boyfriend. I forget his name.
Christian. He's just shitty, dude. Like people are like, that's a thing right now online.
Yeah,
people
I
are
know.
like, he didn't deserve that. I'm like,
didn't
didn't he? Like,
I wouldn't go that far. He
I don't
did
know,
deserve it.
dude. Like,
That's the biggest controversy with the movie is people deciding whether or not he deserved it.
Yeah, those people are toxic. That's why. Did he deserve to get stuffed in a bear and burned? No, no, he doesn't. He did not.
It was painless.
No, it was not.
no, that one, no, that one
was
dude,
for him.
no, that one. Remember,
No.
he's like, here, take this. He
Take
won't
this.
feel anything.
It was
And as
for
soon
him,
as the
though.
flames hit him, I was just like
Yeah.
dying.
But when they
Anyways,
left, he was the only one that was still like emotionless. He didn't feel anything.
you don't know that.
He didn't.
You didn't know that. Anyways,
He
so
was
it's
like
about,
he was in that like sunken zone, like in
Yeah.
like Get Out, where he was just like paralyzed.
Yeah. Anyways, back to I keep trying to get to this. Danny, her boyfriend, ends up making plans with his friends to go to Sweden, right?
Yeah, they're going abroad
They're going abroad to this festival, Midsommar,
to get some broads.
broads abroad. Or was it Switzerland? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's in Europe. And he doesn't tell her.
Scary white folks. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
He doesn't tell her. She ends up losing her entire family, her sister, who's bipolar.
To like this, it's like the craziest.
The crazy,
suicide.
yeah. So she commits suicide by basically sealing the entire house, turning on 2 cars, and hooking up herself and her parents to these tubes from the
Okay,
exhaust
no.
of the
So
cars.
the tubes going into the room are just going into the room. They just die in their sleep.
Yeah.
She straight up like takes duct tape and like
Yeah.
straps that whole thing to her face.
She
like her
makes
mouth.
sure she's dead.
That dude, that's
And
nuts.
dude, that was just, oh my gosh. Like once I heard her on the phone, I was like, I knew it. But okay, so she's all griefed out. She's gone.
She is traumatized.
Yeah. And I mean, she was anxious before. Now she's anxious and traumatized and feeling even more alone because of the boyfriend. And so they end up inviting her reluctantly. And they all end up going to this little village out in the middle of nowhere to witness this ceremony that's been going on for thousands of years, probably.
Every 90
And
years.
they are in for a ride. Because this village does things that nobody has witnessed. Because I don't think...
No, they're they're almost like off. They are off the radar.
None of them have signal. Nobody knows what it is they do. So the friends are going there to take notes and essentially write thesis papers on it, and I mean actually get this stuff documented. So it's entirely new for them, and it's entirely new from what it seems like to the villagers that people want to know and like write things down and take pictures and bring that out to everyone else. So it's like a weird culture shock, but at the same time, Danny is going through all this grief, and then Danny and Christian are going through this really awkward stage of like, how much longer can either of us take this?
They know this relationship is done.
Yeah.
They're just going through the
So
motions.
it's just like a weird mix of all of that. And then on top of that, other things are thrown in to just make the situation worse. Like this one girl's casting spells to get Christian in love with her. And then Christian and one of his friends
putting period blood in his orange juice in the morning.
Yeah.
Eating pubes.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
who's crazy?
This movie is crazy. This movie is a
Pubes
trip.
that they have her prepare.
That's true.
Did you notice there was like a scene? She's like staring at them in the background. All the girls are in that little like hut where they're all making food, and I think it's the old man and Christian, or an old man and Danny talking, and you see that redhead just like
No, I don't
doing
think so.
something in the background with her hands, like. That's why it needs a second watch, dude.
Yeah,
You
there
need
was
to,
a
like,
lot of things I noticed in the
because
background.
I
That's
wasn't
not
even
one.
paying attention to what they were saying. I was like, what the hell is she doing back there?
She didn't notice this. There was one part at the very end of the movie. There's a face in the hills.
Oh, I did not notice that.
That one, I was like, I knew I was looking in the background for a certain reason. That's not what I thought it would be.
Yeah, I gotta go rewatch this.
Yeah,
man.
dude, this one I need to watch again and again and again. Like, there's just so much to take in. Even just like when they're in that bunkhouse and there's all these murals on the wall. Like, I want to see everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much better like when you own it and you're going like basically not, I guess, frame by frame.
Yeah.
You know, or you get the opportunity to pause on like a certain image and like blow it up and see what the hell that's about.
Zoom, enhance.
Enhance.
So I guess one thing that we can talk about, because I think for those people who have seen it would want to know, I guess, because I'm sure there's some people that don't understand, and there's some people that are just like, I didn't feel satisfying. But what did you think about the ending?
Good for her.
I agree.
And like I mentioned before, it's very similar to The Witch, in which it's like about, you know, it's an awakening of this girl. Like,
Yeah.
would I say she's moved on from her traumas? Maybe, but it's probably only because she's just gone through a whole nother set of trauma. Like,
Yeah.
that makes what happened to her in, you know, her life in America, you know, seem like a cakewalk compared to what she just went through.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of these movies right now that are like that. The Eyes of My Mother, The Witch, something like even like The Wicker Man or like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and all of the basically, I wouldn't say all of the was it the protagonists? They all go through something and they seem like they're changed, and whether it's for the good or the better, or the good or the worse,
Yeah.
it seems like it's a necessary change. Like this, you're not getting like that. Was a thing, was someone said the movie doesn't have enough story, and I think it's because the movie is so good. Like, you're not getting a like, that was a thing, was someone said the movie doesn't have enough story, and I think it's because the movie is so good. Like, you're not getting a like, that was a thing, was someone said the movie doesn't have enough story, And I don't think it's about story. I think it's about witnessing the metamorphosis.
Yeah, because this, along with Hereditary, they're very simple stories.
Yeah.
It's just done in such a way where there's so much added on, where
Like-
it feels like you're not getting the main story, but you are.
Like, was it Hereditary? What story is there in that movie until like the cult stuff pops up? Like,
Yeah, well, it's again,
it's you're witnessing something.
yeah, just like Midsommar, Hereditary has that thing where there's multiple things going on. You just don't realize one until a certain point.
Until it's too late.
Well, yeah, until it's too late. But what you're watching and what you're anticipating isn't the real story.
Yeah.
So like you're watching all this stuff and oh yeah, this is a trip and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see all this new stuff. Like it's not about that. That just happens to be the setting.
Mm-hmm.
That just happens to be where all the actual story takes place.
It's not like something like I just watched like Child's Play where
Yeah.
you're seeing there's a definitive story of how do we stop the doll. This you don't know what the hell you're getting, and you don't even by the end you still don't know what the hell is going on. And
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of that book that I read recently. It was an entire trilogy, and I was still like, what the frick?
did you watch Mother?
No, I don't think I did. Do I need to watch that one?
If you like this one, you might like that one.
Okay.
The only thing about Mother that I wasn't too fond of was, well, the big one is I'm just not a fan of Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
And two, this one, how we're sitting there like questioning everything.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. The way we're questioning everything is because everything is just so foreign.
Yeah.
In Mother, everything's on the nail. Like they're hitting everything on the nail. You know that they're supposed to be like, it's a big metaphor for like, I wouldn't say totally Catholicism, but like there's stuff straight out of the Bible that is going on.
Yeah, because that was one thing that doesn't translate well, like Hereditary did. That one was very cult stuff.
Yeah.
They're worshiping demons, basically. That we can understand. Midsommar's like, this is pagan. This isn't something we're used to.
You get like a demon coming out, but you don't know. I guess when that's where witches get the bad raps is you just assume they're worshiping the devil, and that's not what this is about. This is they're trying to be one with their, I wouldn't even say earth or anything like that.
This is just something we haven't seen before. And I think that really added to the horror element. Oh, right. Later, Matt. I don't know when you added that, but later.
Just a minute ago.
Because this is one conversation that me and Zach keep coming back to. Is when we think of horror, like, what do you think of?
A lot of the times, what scares me, or that high. I guess you want to, that high that people like. You go to like Hobbs Grove or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And it's that high of something like trying to scare you.
Yeah.
I think that's like when I think of horror, that's what I think of is like fear of like. That's why I like watching just new ones all the time. Is I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Mm-hmm. It's almost like an adrenaline rush.
See,
like
that's what I'd say is the real horror. It's not like the slasher films or what people would deem as something scary.
Yeah.
Because usually what it is really just jump scares, demons, killers, and all that stuff. Horror is more of the feeling that you get when you see something that is recognizable, but not in a way you
something's
think
off about
something's off. Something you don't understand entirely. Because I mean, I kind of keep coming back to that scene where the dude is taking pictures of the book. It's at night. He turns around. He sees his friend. That's not his friend.
Not until like, or
not only is that just like another person,
okay,
like dude's naked.
It's okay. So
like why?
when he sees the reflection, it is his friend.
Yeah.
And then when he turns around and you realize it's not the friend.
Yeah.
That's
that weird like.
That's what you're saying is there's something off about something like.
So this entire movie, like we see rituals. We have rituals all the time in our life. We go through those rituals, except these rituals are something we're unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
These are something, if we were put in that situation, we wouldn't know how to act. So it's kind of the same thing watching the movie. It's like, I have no idea what these people are supposed to be doing. I have no idea why they're doing these things. I have no idea why these things are happening. Like, it's just a weird fish out of water situation. And I think that helps the entire movie because you're like, I don't even know what to expect anymore.
That's like, dude. I'm trying to think of like, perfect example is like did you watch the Paranormal Activity with the Mexicans?
No, that one I didn't watch.
So there's like parts where like they like the grandma like puts like the egg underneath the bed. It's like, to us that's oh dude, that's like practice.
That's Wednesday.
Like, yeah, that's like once a week or something like that, you know. But like to show that to someone in like Mississippi or something like that.
What in tarnation?
They're like, what the hell are they doing with them eggs? You know, but like, not that there's not any Mexicans in Mississippi, but like, you show something foreign to someone and they're gonna look at it with like a different eye than the way me and you look at it. So
it's just that weird. It's just that feeling of unease that I associate with horror more than being scared. Because like I could be scared of a spider. That could be either because I have arachnophobia or because like I just don't like spiders.
I have, what is it, trypophobia?
The what?
Trypophobia?
The hell is that?
I have this fear of like multiple circles, like tiny circles.
Really?
Yeah, like if you look up like season, I don't even know what season is of like, I couldn't watch one of the seasons of American Horror Story.
Oh.
Because they're like, okay, like imagine like a rock, like of coral.
Yeah.
And all the little holes in the coral.
Yeah.
If I see that, like, and it's just like in focus, I freak out.
That's weird.
I get like this like sick, nauseous feeling, and
That's
I
really
just
weird.
either I turn around, like I have to turn away from it, or I get like really sick to the point where I feel like I'm really gonna just throw up.
Is that like an unease or is it an actual fear? Like, are you physically like,
are you
emotionally scared? Or
I get scared of it. Like when I see it.
That's the part that's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, and it's like it's something like you can probably just look at it and just be like, it's no big deal. But if like I see like, I wouldn't say like kind of like something right here, like on the mic, like the okay, so that's not so bad. But like if they're like oblong or something like that, like. Some are bigger than others or something like that. That kind of stuff scares the hell out of me.
That's so weird. I've never heard of that one.
So, but that's basically like one of the characters in I don't know, American Horror Story Cult or something like that.
Yeah.
But she has that like fear, and every time like something bad's about to happen, she starts to see it. And so I just couldn't, like, I watched that first episode and I was like, yeah, I can't watch it. Like,
okay, so cults are something we've seen in horror movies. Would you say this family is a cult?
thing. It's
'Cause,
like that's if they've all lived like that for so many years, you could say that the sister wives are a cult.
Yeah,
But that's just
'cause,
their way. That's their lifestyle. Like,
that's another thing. Like from the outside looking in, it looks very cult-like. I don't know if it is though.
it's not. It's really not. It's
like,
not. Like
when I'm thinking about it, like it doesn't really seem like one, but it's like they do have their weird rituals. Which so do we.
I mean, like it's
just so weird. Like it again. Like it looks very recognizable, but it's not. Like it's something completely different.
they burn the bodies and they pour the ashes on the tree.
Like that's that weird horror element. Like I've seen things like this before. Even the stuff they're wearing, it's like, oh, it's just clothes, but it's not clothes. It's not normal clothes.
I feel like I've seen outfits like that before too. Like
yeah, it's just not
that's like a Sunday in Kingsburg or something.
Yeah,
like
that's what Cubans wear, isn't it? Just like the guayaberas, the white shirts.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I just need to watch this entire movie again. It's just good. Like walking out of that theater, I was like, I need to think about this because it's a lot to take in.
So what makes a cult then?
I'm just saying.
From what I know, like cults are usually
drinking the Kool-Aid, wearing the tracksuits.
Oh gosh! Oh my gosh! And that movie made me think about doing a freaking scary movie like that too.
We actually have another one coming up too with that deals with cults.
Which one?
Movie? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. That's right.
A cult movie?
You haven't seen the trailer?
Yeah, but I didn't know that there was a cult. I just saw Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt.
Charles Manson and like his whole compound is in it. Like,
Oh yeah.
I guess I missed it.
There's a part they're like, oh, you're gonna love Charlie, and it's just this like guy with long hair, and he's just like,
Just got the bug eyes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see like the rest of like all his like girls, and then Sharon Tate is a character, and she's the main. She was the one that got killed in Roman Polanski's house, and
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just looking at Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Man, see, there's so many things that I do want to get into this movie with, but I feel like we'd have to go through and like stop at those points. Like we basically have to do another episode, like
let's
drag the across concrete, so I can
Yeah.
like talk about those things because there's so many little things where I'm like, did you see this? Did you notice this?
Yeah, I think when this movie comes out, like to own or like to stream, I think that's when we do like that episode.
Yeah.
Because that's how I really want to like talk about that movie is when I have access to it.
Yeah,
And
we'll have to do that.
consistently-
We'll be able to watch it. They won't because we'll probably obviously get taken down for that.
No, I think we could do that. Just have it on like as we're like watching or as we're talking about it.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, we could probably do that with a lot of movies.
I feel like we should do that.
Yeah, we should.
It'd probably if it's not even talking about it, we'd probably end up like just making audio commentaries for these.
I mean, that's fine. People will watch this.
we gotta
Or
like
listen.
get like a hour and a half movie because I ain't down for 2 hours.
No, we'll have to like cut it up. Probably. 'Cause there's no way we're gonna do that in one sitting. But yeah, if you guys have not seen Midsommar, go watch Midsommar. Who cares what anybody says on it?
Did you see the commercial for the bear? It's a bear.
What?
There's A24 has a website.
No. They're selling a bear suit?
No, we're going to discuss the breathing. I feel like everyone needs to talk about that breathing. No, A24's website has a toy of the bear in the cage,
Really?
and it's literally just a bear. Like it looks like a wooden
Just like a bear in
like
a
a
cage.
wooden like a little wooden box. Like it's just a cage with a little wooden bear inside of it with like the flower like crown.
Oh
and mane.
goodness!
And it's just this weird commercial. There's like these little white kids that come out like dressed like those, like dressed like the people in Midsommar, and they're just like, "It's a bear in a cage."
Dude, that was like the most dismissive line in any movie. It's like, oh, we can talk about the bear. It's a bear.
It's a bear.
Okay,
That's literally the trailer for that that toy. It's a bear.
It's a bear. Okay.
I feel like that breathing is very therapeutic.
Yeah.
In its like gross way, like
Therapeutic but insane.
Honestly, I feel like
It's weird.
everyone needs like a good cry, like a group cry like that.
I don't want to say so much like that, but yeah.
Like just get all your
Bunch of
girls
ladies
together
together?
and just like all just let it all out and cry.
Just
I
all
honestly
out like
the
that.
movie.
Oh my gosh, that was
Here, okay, that's what I want to bring up too.
okay.
The whole movie is unsettling from
Yeah.
beginning to end. When the group cry happened, was when I just felt not, I guess, gross. Like where I was, that was the peak for me.
Mm.
And it's not that it's like, oh, I think that's disgusting or something like that. I was not ready to see her, because the whole time you see her crying like uncontrollably at the very beginning when she's in Christian's arms after she finds out about her family.
Mm.
That's the first time she's like totally crying.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie is her having like her like anxiety attacks, like her, breathing hard. And then
She's usually like leaving, going somewhere.
yeah, and then when she realized, what happened with Christian or what he's up to, and she's, in that room crying, and all of her,
her besties.
her new besties are just crying with her, and it's like, dude,
why can't I have that?
Let that all out. Like, you need to let all that out right now.
Yeah.
And it was seeing her just totally like giving in to like all of it.
Now that I think about it, like that scene starts and it's very uncomfortable, and she seems very uncomfortable. By the end of it, it's like very settled. It's like, okay,
it's like
this is like gonna go a whole nother way now.
They're crying with her, and they're like they're comforting her, basically like, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. But it was
and
weird.
That's the scary part, is like,
they're
telling her like it's okay, and it's like
that's one thing I need to hit on, because okay, she gets over this whole thing with him. She finally has a family again, right? This is not the family you want.
I mean, look at the witch.
No, it's not.
Like, look at the witch.
The
like,
witch is different though. Well, that one's
she kind of got duped by the devil.
By Black Phillip?
By Black Phillip.
Black Phillip was
But
cool.
if you think about this one too, like,
she didn't get tricked though.
She got drugged.
She got drugged. Okay, well, yeah. She did get drugged. Maybe that's why
they gave her mushroom tea. I need to get on that, man. That's I'm trying to find that kind of like level of spiritualism.
Yeah. Like, here, drink this tea. What's in it? Things.
Pubes.
Oh, good.
She's like a spring water and like herbs.
Like, what kind of herbs?
When they're grinding up that stuff and like putting it into the water, and they're saying that she has to like look into that lady's eyes as she drinks it.
That one was weird.
That shit just looked like straight up diarrhea water, dude. And I was just like,
weird. She didn't even do it though. She didn't look at her.
She just like went off and like swinged it on like.
And then the next one didn't. I was just watching them the whole time. Yeah, that was weird. That was a trip. And then the whole dancing part.
That was cool.
Dude.
I actually really like that. I'm trying to get wasted doing that.
She got the battle royale win.
The last one.
Knocks that one girl out.
Yeah. Boom, get out of here. That was funny. That made me laugh. But what was I gonna say?
I want to.
It was about something about this, but
my next birthday is just gonna be a Midsommar birthday, dude.
Dude. That's cool.
We're all dancing around a tree.
Dude, Halloween, you'll be the bear, and then I can be what's her name with all the flowers?
The May Queen.
The May Queen.
That'd be dope.
I told Ashley she should be the May Queen.
I was gonna say something. Oh, have you seen The Witch?
No.
We need to watch The Witch. It's a good movie.
If you like Midsommar, you're gonna like The Witch.
Yeah. Although it's different. It's just got
very
that
different.
weird
It's
like
just-
horror vibe.
It's that folk horror.
It's just it's just an unsettling movie like this one.
Very very much the Wicker Man, and I wouldn't really go as to say the Nick Cage movie.
Oh.
It does get on levels of that though when you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
if you've ever seen that version of the Wicker Man, it seems so over the top, but then you watch this and you're like, this is just bad shit.
Yeah, this is just a whole new level. And you're like, dude, I needed sunglasses. This movie
I
is very
swear,
bright.
dude, like next time I go, I'm taking sunglasses.
This
with
movie
me.
is very, very bright. It's
Like,
weirdly bright.
3D movies, they like dim down the like lighting for some reason. So I don't know if you ever noticed that.
Mm-mm.
Or I don't say they dim it. It's just the lenses dim the screen.
No, I know what you mean.
So I want.
You want 3D glasses?
I don't even want 3D glasses. I just.
You just need to watch it with the lights on.
How do you think that would look in 4D, that movie? Especially with all the flowers at the end.
I wish that was in 40x or 4XG. Imagine them spinning.
You'd actually leave the theater high.
I know. They're just pumping fumes. Oh, that movie was like doing drugs. It was like, oh, I'm not sober watching this movie anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I was like on drugs when I watched it, because that probably would have scared the hell out of me.
There was one particular video I saw. This guy was reviewing it, and he does commentary like on a lot of things I've seen. And he was like, yeah, my ancestors are kind of like from that area. And he's like, I'm kind of glad they moved over here and don't do any of that stuff anymore, because that's crazy. But what did he say? He said, well, he is gone through like a lot of depression. He's been on meds. He was like, that seems like what somebody like that would act like. And then he said from a lot of people he knows, like, that's very much like what an acid trip is like. Ugh. So I was like, okay, then. Now I know.
Honestly, I hoped like Ari Aster just one day just like did shrooms or something, was like, hey.
I probably did.
Let's make this movie.
See, that's just the thing. Like, I want him to make more movies like this, but I don't know when we'll get another one.
I mean, the turnaround from Hereditary to this was pretty quick.
Yeah. I just don't know if he'll do another one right off the bat again.
Yeah.
When you go see your guys' podcast, you know, do it just right.
Well, I hope he does already do another one.
Ari,
I need more.
I need it all.
I need it all.
You are like my favorite working director right now.
Yeah, this one and all the other stuff from S. Craig Zoller. It's all been good stuff.
Yeah.
I just want more now. But this one in particular needs multiple watches. Like, you need to rewatch it. You can't just watch it and oh yeah, I'm good. I'm done watching it.
No. As soon as I was done, I wanted like round 2.
Yeah, ever since we watched it, I've been wanting to watch it.
As exhausting as it was, like, and I don't even say like exhausting in a bad way. I say that in the best possible way, because like you said, like it is an experience and it feels almost like a wild ride.
This is something we've talked about. Art and movies shouldn't be something you can watch and it's a very easy thing for you to digest. There should be, like these movies, a lot of layers of different things that you can absorb over time. Because a lot of like classic movies, a lot of classic stories, every time you watch it, something's different. You pick up something. This one, like every time you watch it, you're gonna pick up like 5 different things.
That's why I liked, was it Get Out?
Yeah.
There Will Be Blood.
I've only seen that movie like 2 or 3 times because It's so good. I'm like, I don't want to remember everything about that movie.
I think Alex was the one. I think him and his
He
dad,
loved it.
Him and his dad went to go watch it, and he was like, "You need to see this movie." And so as soon as it came out, I'm like, I think it was like, I don't even know if it came out. And you know what? I do have a freaking weird Blu-ray of it. It's not even a case.
What?
It's the weird little like cardboard slip.
Oh.
It's so odd, dude.
Is that like one of those Mexican ones? Because that's what they do.
It looks okay. It looks like a cheap bootleg, dude. But it's just like I don't even know where it's at. Like if I were to like look for it, it's probably just like it's so flat.
Would you get a physical copy aside from that one?
If it's not on 4K, I want it.
I think that's why that's one of my favorite movies. Like I was thinking about because I know we want to do a top 10 list thing for the 10th episode, and I was thinking about my top 10 movies, and those are movies like I have to go back and watch because I didn't get everything in the first viewing. There Will Be Blood is definitely one, and that one I can watch. That one I usually make a point to watch. No, yeah, that one I do try to make a point to watch it every year. But no more than that.
That's how I am with was it Fury Road?
Oh, see, that one's good too. That one I've probably seen twice.
Did I ever let you borrow, or did you ever watch Southland Tales?
I think you let me borrow that one. That one's a trip.
That's one of those that's like.
But that's like Donnie Darko. I mean, it's like the same thing.
Yeah, but like Donnie Darko, there's like.
Not like the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
Like
same
Donnie
stuff.
Darko has like, more or less, you know what that's about. More, like I said, more or less.
Yeah.
And it can be interpreted in like 2, maybe 3 ways.
Yeah.
Southland Tales, it's just there's too many layers.
I think
it's set up as the second half, or it's like there's like episode 3 or episode 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars.
Yes.
And that's how it's set up. Is 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And there's comics that are 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, yeah. See, it feels very unfinished in a way that
it was. That was the thing about it.
But there is a lot to take in that movie as well. But here's the thing too. This is one thing we've talked about, you and me, and then me and Matt and Steven and Zach, about video games. Like there's certain games that are very wide, but they're not that deep. There's a lot of these movies that are very, very deep. Like Midsommar, but it's not very wide. Wide in the sense like there's not a lot of story again that goes on. It's a very simple story, but it's a deep story.
Dude, I don't know if it's out. Oh, where is it to stream? Have you heard of a movie called Under the Silver Lake?
No, I don't think I've heard of it.
Someone described it as The Big Lebowski for millennials. It's with Andrew Garfield, and it's by the director of It Follows.
Huh.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Under the Silver Lake. I've never heard of that.
I know it's streaming somewhere.
How long have we been going?
An hour and almost a half.
Okay. Yeah, we should probably end this soon then.
Yeah, hold on.
But wait, I have a comment.
I just went on Instagram and I see the post that you did. It's got the thumbnail for this episode.
Oh, it's on Prime.
Oh, okay.
I hope it's on
Dude,
Prime.
this is like a masterpiece.
Okay, yeah. You need to watch that movie because you want to talk about layers and weird. What was the most disturbing scene? For me, it was the crying.
What was the most disturbing
The
scene?
most disturbing
See, it's
scene
probably
was
going to
that-
be something like off. It's going to be something that's not really all that disturbing to other people.
That's why it's the crying. Like it shouldn't be that disturbing, and it was too much for me at that point.
You know,
like,
honestly, I think for me, it might be the dinner scene with the old people. Because I think at that point, I already knew it was going to happen. And
oh, like the two that come walking up.
yeah, like there was just something weird about it.
Maybe just finding that guy in the shed.
That one was weird. That one was
lungs.
just more disturbing because of what you see. I don't.
He was alive. Like,
Yeah, that one was a trip. But to me, that wasn't that disturbing. I don't know what I would say.
maybe just the opening. Like,
Yeah.
if I really think about it, because like, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna go to that point in Hereditary with the telephone pole so quick.
You know what? Both of those movies had that. They had like a very sudden, bam. Here's what you get now.
Midsommar's
early.
comes like that though. Like Hereditary
Yeah.
built that up.
But man,
You
they're both
established
pretty
her
sudden.
as like a main character, and then
And then she was
knocked her block off.
I know. Who was it? Yeah, I think most people had like very visceral reactions to that because I remember like hearing like people talk about it and it's like they didn't expect that. Some people were like, I didn't realize I wasn't breathing during that part.
On Hereditary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember me and I was like, I knew what was coming. And I was like, not because I had seen it, but I was like, yeah, this is going to happen. And then even when it does happen, like
They tease it earlier in the movie too, right?
Yeah.
With the pole has like the symbols on it.
Pole, her cutting heads off of stuff. Just like I knew it. And then when it did happen, I was more just like,
The original Forky from Toy Story.
Yeah, I
Her
know.
little thing that she makes with the bird head.
I actually don't know what the most disturbing scene would be.
I think Will Poulter. Remember the dream sequence?
Dude, yeah, for a second, I didn't think that was a dream sequence.
So in the dream sequence where they're taking off and he's in the back seat just staring at her, and he has that like crazy face,
Yeah.
dude.
That was funny. Like, I was like, oh no.
He
They're
was
gone.
like, to hell with this chick. They just took off.
Yeah.
That was messed up, dude. That face.
No, I think I know what the most disturbing scene for me was. It was after she was crowned, the dinner.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Everything was moving. Everything just fell.
You know what my
off.
favorite scene is though?
Yeah.
When Christian's sitting there and he's like, he asks that old man what's going on.
Yeah.
And he just claps in his face and he's just like,
And in the background, you can hear, "Got him." Yeah, that was a trip.
that was so awful for me. I think I was the only one like really laughing at that too because it just so bad.
Yeah. Man, I didn't watch it again. But yeah, I think for me that's probably the most disturbing one. Again, not really because any particular thing was just like scary or intense. It was just off-putting.
Yeah, from like beginning to end.
Yeah. I think that's it then.
Yeah.
'Cause-
We will talk about this one more in depth once we own it or have access to it.
I definitely want to buy this one. I don't want to get Hereditary. I just haven't even looked for a copy at all.
Double feature.
Dude, if they...
That's exhausting.
Yeah, but I think most of the things I really like are exhausting.
Have you seen
I don't
like
really
those?
watch
Have you
things
seen like
because
those?
they're enjoyable.
Have you seen like those memes? Like they make fun of like watching Hereditary versus me watching
No.
Midsommar, and it's like
It'd be the exact same thing on both.
it's like one's like some like goth girl, and then the other one's like some like bright. I don't even know. Just someone dressed all in white or something like that. Or one was have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah.
There's me watching Hereditary, and it's like one's Nightman, and then me watching Midsommar, and the other one's Dayman.
My goodness. I haven't seen any of those memes, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna look some up
you
now.
just look up Midsommar, and they're just all over the place. They're so good.
All right. So we done? We good?
We're pretty much
any,
done.
any last thoughts?
She should have picked the pregnant girl to die instead.
She wasn't even one of the choices.
But she should have been in.
No.
I was there for that movie.
There were like so many whack picks. Do you think she really picked?
See, I don't. Here's one thing like that runs
Or do
through
they
my
just
mind.
like, did she just not like, did she not pick, or did she?
I think she did pick. I don't know if she knew what she was picking.
For what reason? Oh no, they flat out say they're
Like,
gonna
they do
sacrifice.
say it, but she's freaking whacked out on stuff too. Like, the entire time. Like, was it really a choice?
Yeah, she herself was wearing all the drugs by the end.
Yeah. She was the drugs. But, if she did know, that's one thing.
Midsommar spoilers with no context.
Wait,
It's
what part?
the old lady.
Oh! I thought that was something else. Oh, you have to show her now. But yeah, I guess that's it. If you haven't seen Midsommar yet, go watch it before you watch anything.
Yeah.
And
to hell with Spider-Man. To hell with
everything else.
everything. Oh, dude, Crawl's been getting good reviews. I'm so excited.
Goodness.
I'll watch that.
That trailer was terrible though. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We good?
We good.
hit
Follow
stop
us everywhere, I guess.
What he said.
Too late.
Oh.
I
Maybe.
haven't stopped
Oh.
you could say.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
handles are on screen.
At The Walking Dead, at Ronan Cruz. Follow the Instagram.
Haph-Ast podcast.
Follow that because we should hella post more, and
Yeah, we lag a lot. But
that's
Oh, well.
that's our name.
That's
We
us.
half-assed it. So
you get what
Yeah.
you came for.
so y'all have a good one.
Bye.